Let's test out the microphone. So we have Lori and we have Lanny. So just one moment. Let's just make sure we do a sound check. And we have Mike, the IT expert. Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, the floor is now yours.
Can you hear us okay?
We can hear you well.
Perfect.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to Ames. I'm Lori Grant. I'm the director of A&D, and Lanny McGregor is with me. And Lanny is an A&D representative for basically outside sales. And as mentioned, we have our wonderful IT Mike here to help assist us today. We're really excited. We're going to be talking about slabs, and slabs are definitely, for us, it's the future of porcelain. It's what's hot. We've got lots of great images, but also a lot of technical information for you. And we're going to start things off with a 6-minute video.
I just need to. There we go. You can see the screen okay, everybody?
hope everyone enjoyed that video. It gives a real firsthand look at how many people are involved. And of course, there is definitely a right and a wrong way to handle the large slabs. And obviously, we're going to take you through just some pointers that will help clarify some of that. And then we look forward to some questions at the end. One thing that we get asked all the time is where can you put the slabs? How thick are they? And at Ames, we have many different thicknesses as well as sizes. And our largest size is actually a 5 by 10. And here, just something to keep in mind, 3.5 millimeter, you'll see quite a bit out there. That is definitely for walls only. Floors, we're usually seeing a 6 millimeter, and countertops, we're seeing 6 millimeter, which can be mitered like the slides that you saw. They're getting thicker and thicker. So there's 12 millimeter and now 20 millimeters. So this is a continually evolving industry, and basically every month there's something new to add. But definitely, as we'll go through in a bit, the TT Mac guidebook is where you really need to go for, all of the up-to-date recommendations on this. And then exterior cladding, that's a very exciting industry, and we're seeing that, in Europe and the US, it's coming slower to Canada, but it's definitely something usually in the 6 millimeter, but some buildings will have the 20 millimeter. So there's lots of options. Again, you can see the scale. This woman here, the panels are stunning, and designers are absolutely loving to spec this. So again, TT Mac, all of you are familiar with, but that's who we go to for, what should be done, what thicknesses. They're obviously the go-to. If you're, again, thinking of the US, the TCMA, it's the North American. One thing that a lot of people are loving about slabs is that you can go over things. So a lot of people are doing renovations right now, have the old 60s fireplace with a really bad looking brick. So if it is a surface that can be fairly smoothed out, this is perfect. You go right over top. It's very cost effective. You don't have to tear the whole thing down, as well as it's very eco-friendly. Again, just really beautiful, fewer joints and seams. The other thing that I think you've seen throughout the day, there's been a few different companies talking about custom logos and different things. There are ways that we can have for hotels and different restaurant projects. Something custom is possible. Of course, these things take time. Most of our products come from Italy. And again, so many sizes. And the great thing is that from that big size, you can basically cut to any custom size that either by the factory or your installer. Again, just beautiful images, really nice way to do it. A kitchen and bathrooms, you can just see how very simple and elegant. This is using the actual material to make a sink, and these are things, depending on your region and where you are, all of these things can be looked at. Again, just the beautiful scale. The other thing is you can see the veins are continuous here. Some of the slabs we're able to order, again, book matched is one catchphrase. You can see that these pieces are like a natural piece of marble. It actually comes together, a mirror image. And again, this is showing it two different ways. So if you do it upside down or the other way, you can see how completely different it looks. This is a line we have, it's called Panda. And this one, we put it in our front window display at our West 2nd location. And it's definitely, it's very exciting, and people are really loving just the impact that this gives. And continuous veining is another word. You can see that you can do a whole wall in a hotel, for example, and all of the pieces completely and effortlessly line up. And Lanny's going to take it from here.
So another great application for our porcelain slabs is for exterior cladding. Depending on your region, again, there will be height restrictions on how high you can adhere directly to your facade. without using mechanical fastening. But in Europe, of course, these have been tried and tested and stand up really well. It's a great solution for any weight restrictions, any chemical resistance, so any pollutants that they will not be affected. Light, it won't affect the surface area of the product. Graffiti proof is another one. You can see the gauged panels are because they are so light, you can go very high. So again, going up multiple stories, you're going to require some sort of ventilated facade or mechanical fastening, but they're easy to replace and practical use. So it's a great solution to using your typical slab. So going back to our video, this is how the porcelain slabs are transported. You can order one piece from Italy or up to 20 in a crate. We then typically move it onto an A-frame for easeability to move. This is our warehouse here at Ames. You can see that we receive them in the flat crates from Italy, and then we transport them onto our A-frames, which are easy for people to pick up. We do a deposit for trucks to deliver to site, and then easy to move from there. Forklifts, it's really important also when you're transporting on site that if you do not have fork extenders, you may have some troubles moving this. There's a lot of movement involved. You don't want to break a slab because one piece can be upwards over $1,000, and that's sometimes hard to replace, especially if you waited about 3 months to receive it from Italy. So those widths are really important to determine. And you saw also in the video that it can be a two-man job when dealing with a 4x8 foot panel. But they have these bar systems with suction cups and handles, easy to move and maneuver. The less movement of the slabs, the better off you are. You don't want to be chipping any edges. You want a nice clean installation. You don't want to be frantically having to replace one in the end. So the better prepared you are on site, the more successful your job is going to be. And you can see this trolley system, just like they do for actual natural stone slabs or say glass installation, you would treat the same with our porcelain slabs. So the joints is very important. Although you want to create that seamless effect, people often ask, is it okay to not have grout joints in our installation? No, it's not okay. There's always movement, contraction, expansion and contraction, and this is where you will see failures along the way. If you have two raw tile edges touching without any grout joints in between, you can see damage over time. It may happen 10 years down the road, but that stress in the tile will definitely cause failure. So it's very important that there's a minimum 2 millimeter grout joint, but you can still have that very clean, close cut. Also for floor joints, very important to follow the TTMAC recommendations, whether it's an interior or exterior application, the amount of floor that you need to have your movement joints properly distributed in the space. Also, perimeter joints are very important. So when you're changing the orientation, going into a hallway or say doorways, it's really important that you have those perimeter joints to avoid any of those stresses and create future cracks along your beautiful installation. Another great tips for installation, you saw in the video how beautifully they mitered the edge of the porcelain. A lot of us don't want to see metal edges on some of ours to protect the edge, so you can do a nice mitered edge to give that clean slab effect and have your continuous vein run all the way through. Sinks must be surface mounted when using your 6 millimeter slabs. Unfortunately, they cannot be undermounted, which is often, no one wants a surface mounted sink anymore. But there are ways around that if you do want to create that look in your installation. And another really important thing is to ensure that the material can actually be transported to the job site. Once arrived, can this fit in the elevator? When we're working with a lot of high-rise units, is it accessible to get into your unit when you're specifying a 5 by 10 foot slab? And having the right equipment on site, like I said, if you need a forklift on site, ensuring that your team has at least 4 men, depending on the size of your slab and installation activity. And the possibilities are endless. So there's lots of great installations out there. Yeah, if anyone has any questions, please let us know.
Okay, so if you are open to receiving questions, we do have questions, and it says, how is delivery generally handled for contractors? Do you recommend a delivery service that specializes in moving slabs specifically?
Yes, definitely. We do not provide delivery for our slabs. It is a third party that would have to be sourced, but any transport company that deals with natural stone slabs is very aware of the porcelain slabs and typically come with their own A-frames available to transport. And we are always open to offer any examples or companies to go through.
Also, we have the option for people who don't have the A-frame. We take a deposit of I believe it's $600. So the A-frame goes to the job site, and when that's brought back, we refund it. So there's actually no charge, but we just want to have it back. So that's an option as well.
Excellent. Thank you very much. Okay, so let's see if there's any other questions or Q&A or anything in the chat or any hands raised on the attendee side. Okay, so we're about 10 minutes out. I could go into discussing the silent auction, but if there is something that you would like to share a bit more, you do have the time. And if you have more to say about the application or the history or how you got involved, that would be great.
We might just show you a few things we have here. I just will get us out of our presentation here. Just make sure Mike can, so we can show you just a couple of things
Just leave that up for now, sorry. Otherwise there'll be nothing on the screen.
Oh, it won't go to just us? We want to show them.
You have to use the camera up front here.
Okay, well, we won't.
So just turn off your share screen, and then we will be able to see you bigger.
That's what I'm.
Is that what you mean?
Yeah.
Oh.
Perfect.
Here we go.
I guess right now for us, we have a line from Fiandre is our beautiful line. We're the Western Canada exclusive for this line, and it's stunning. The designers are absolutely, when we go in and take these pieces, it's so much fun. But something, we're really seeing a trend towards green, and a lot of you may have seen this before, but this is the Verde Fantastico, and a lot of restaurants are using this look. I don't know if they're getting a glare, but this is actually one of the most popular and exciting slabs, and these come in a 5 by 10. So we're very excited, and Lanny's going to show you a couple more.
And I believe we will be stocking soon the invisible. So the marble that's actually it's got a lot of movement to it, great, beautiful veining, which is very popular. The busier, the better, I say. It'll hide everything as well.
Plus things are getting warmer. Like you can see the beautiful warm tones in this. We've seen so much of the, statuario palicata, but this has a beautiful warm touch as well.
Mm-hmm. And again, with the busier veining, the
Arabesco.
Yeah, arabesco. Sorry. So another Italian marble. And so they're replicating anything, which is great because you do see a lot of marbles that have been depleted in the environment. It's hard to get clear, nice veining anymore. So to have this technology great for our planet, it leaves a smaller footprint, and the installation is really it's changed along the way, and it's becoming more of the norm and more cost effective as you go.
Well, above all, porcelain, I think the whole reason we're so excited about porcelain is that you don't have to worry about like natural stone. You're going to end up with staining, whether it be in a restaurant setting, acids, wine. Porcelain is incredible. You can spill on it and it's non-porous. So the other thing is it's a more cost-efficient product. So, when someone's doing their budget for a spectacular restaurant, a lot of times they start with the natural stone, and then having this possibility in the porcelain look, it just completely makes sense.
Thank you very much. Okay, we still have a few more minutes. Let's see if there's any questions in the Q&A or any questions in the chat or any hands raised in the attendees section. Okay, so I don't have any questions as of yet. So I'm just going to see if Thomas would like to do a little interview with you. So just hold on one moment.
Good afternoon.
Oh,
Well,
hi,
thank you for the
Thomas.
presentation. I love that shiny glossy stuff. I can just see it in homes on the floors and on the walls. And the porcelain is so versatile in comparison to the real stone. And as you mentioned, the cost savings is going to be huge.
Definitely.
Tell me a little bit more. We see more of this product going on the floors, and maybe you could just share with the people that are on the line today that, how it's being used and why it's being used over other products.
Definitely, I would say the durability of a porcelain. You avoid any staining and easy maintenance. It's a long-lasting product that you're going to see for a lifetime, and so that life cycle cost analysis, it's one of the lower cost impacts. And also environmentally, there's no VOCs with porcelain tiles. You just want to be aware of using the right product in your particular application. You may not want to go with a shiny floor in a high traffic installation just to avoid slipping. Say if you were coming in from outdoors to an entry. But for personal homes, I think that, a polished surface is definitely acceptable.
We have a matte version in most of these options as well. And a lot of times people, especially in a bathroom setting, will do the matte on the floor and then quite often the polished on the walls, just to same color, same pattern, just gives a little bit of reflection on the wall.
What about wearability as far as, scuffing or that you get that sort of scuffed, not scuffed, but more like a shaped look if people are wearing shoes on it?
Well, the Fiandra line, this line in particular, we have many different lines and we have product sheets that really outline, but this particular line is heavy commercial. This could go in an airport. Again, they would suggest a matte version for the floors, but this particular line, it's actually sold, although we're the Western Canada exclusive, it's all over the world. In Europe, it's used in universities, it's used in hotels. So this is a perfect commercial application.
And often when you see any surface damage, it's usually not something that's affecting the actual surface. It would be something left behind that can be cleaned. You may need a more aggressive abrasive product to get rid of it, but it's not etching the surface of the tile.
And porcelain simply needs soap and water, like a mild detergent to clean. It doesn't need a harsh chemical ever. So this is sometimes just water with a tiny drop of, again, Dawn or one of the household, dishwashing liquids. It's very easy to clean it and, simply just with a dry cloth. So it's really, really easy.
The sink and counters that you showed there were just spectacular.
It's a beautiful look, just showing it from the floor to an island and up, and it's just a really seamless, absolutely beautiful look for sure.
Great. Well, it just shows the versatility of that product for sure.
We're excited about it, definitely.
Well, that's all the questions that I have or comments.
Okay, let me see if there are any other questions or comments from our audience. Okay, I don't have any other questions or audience comments. So thank you so much, ladies. We really appreciate your time today.
Well,
Thank you.